Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And elephant in the room. Yes, I look different now. Shaved my head, shaved around my goatee. But this is a different shirt. This is the same day though. Although, actually, I couldn't even say anything. This is actually the next day that you're saying this, the 2nd of December. But you know, to each your own. I am recording it in the same day. So November 29th. I believe I'm recording this. So yes, so we're on to the second review of Dis-Cember 2022, and I have a mistake that I have to own up to. I said it's Pinocchio, and I said that it was from 1946. It's actually from 1940. I don't know where I got 46 from, but it's from 1940. It's the second ever animated feature by Walt Disney. And look at the shiny. Look at this shiny. Look at that. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Yeah, that's cool. And just to kind of hash this out, yes, I've seen the remake. No, it's not as good, but to take some interesting things with it. Of course, they had to dial down. There was no smoking. They're drinking root beer instead of beer. That sort of thing. And yes, it's going to feel like the actors are doing cheap imitation of the originals. I thought that Tom Hanks was pretty good as Geppetto. They changed Monstro from a whale into a monster. And yes, another elephant in the room. The Blue Fairy is played by an African-American actress. But for her small part, I thought she did a pretty good job. And overall, I didn't think it was that bad. Was it necessary? Never. These live action movies are never necessary. With the 3 live action remakes that I've seen all the way through, it's probably number 2 behind Aladdin. Yes, as much as I furious behind Aladdin, it's still Aladdin. You know, but Pinocchio is a classic, and the DVD I watched was the 70th anniversary version. And look, hey, stark difference. Put it in. Thing came up what language you want the menus to be in, English, of course. And then you had an animated menu. Different, stark contrast from Return to Oz. Sorry, I had itch in my back. I just shaved my head today, so it's like itchy. I did take a shower, but you know. So yes, so what's the story here? I didn't do a plot crunch for the last one. Plot crunch for this movie. Geppetto, toy maker, makes a puppet. And then he sees a shining star in the sky, and he wishes the puppet was a real boy. And even though that was his wish, the blue fairy she makes the puppet into a real living puppet, not a real boy, because you have to earn becoming a real boy. Well, then you're not granting the wish now, are you, lady? But, you know, spoiler alert for a movie that's over 75 years old. 80 by this point, right? 1940, right? So in 1950, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1990, right? 2000, 2001, 2010, that's 70. 2020 is 80. So 82-year-old movie. Spoilers for 82-year-old movie. Pinocchio becomes a boy. And, you know, I specifically left out some stuff from the remake. So, just saying. But, yes, he becomes a real boy at the end. So, Geppetto does get his wish, but it's kind of a roundabout way to do it. But, yes. So, Geppetto makes the puppet Pinocchio. And they're sort of through the eyes of Jiminy Cricket in this movie, although it's not completely from his point of view because we do cut to Pinocchio's point of view. So and there's sometimes it's Geppetto's point of view. So there's those 3 characters. But, you know, so Geppetto, he lives in this little cottage with his cat named Figaro, his a fish named Cleo, and yes, he creates the puppet Pinocchio, and then he goes to bed, and he tells the cat to open the window. Geppetto, Cats have no thumbs. They cannot open windows. Yet, yeah. By the way, who opens the window when they go to bed? I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. I live by the freeway, and I cannot hear that at night, And it's just not... I've never been able to deal with outside noises. That's why I have a hard time camping, sleeping outside with the nothing. I'm one of those that have to sleep with white noise, so I have a fan going at night when I sleep because I have to. And so go camping, there's no white noise, there's none of that. It's hard for me to sleep. So yeah. But I have the window open. Bugs can get in. Sorry, Jiminy. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. No, never mind. So he makes the wish upon a star, and he says, "I wish that my puppet was a real boy." And she turns him into a real living puppet. Not... I'm going to just say the animation in this, for being 82 years old, and this was only the 70th anniversary version remaster, it's pretty good. And a stark difference. I've seen Wizard of Oz. No, I've seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which came before this. The animation that it was Disney's first animated feature film. It was fine for what it was, but I feel like the animation in this is 10 times better. I mean, yeah, 10 times better. And just the way that the blue light goes around the blue fairy and just everything. And when she brings Pinocchio to life, the light from her wand, the way he's brought to life is just, it's great. The animation in this is good. The fight with Monstro later is good. The turning into the donkeys is cool. The animation of the village, Stromboli, always looking away where he looks evil. And even the coach driver where he's like, ha ha ha, And even like the animation of the antagonist. You get Honest John and Gideon, they act all cool. The way they're animated, you can see there's something in their eyes. They're always like, if he had a mustache, he'd twirl it, And the songs, before I get into more of the plot, the songs, okay? You got to When You Wish Upon a Star. Give a little whistle, and always let the conscience be your guide. Hi, diddly-dee, an actor's life for me. I got no strings to hold me down. Is that it? Is that the only songs that we have in this? I think so. Despite the fact that there was like upwards of 12 to 13 of them that they were going to use, 4, I think, are done. That's the only ones I can think of. So because Pinocchio is a real boy, is trying to be a real boy, he needs a conscience. So Jiminy Cricket is his conscience. And so he's in charge of making sure that Pinocchio makes the right decisions. Right? Right. So Geppetto's first idea is for Pinocchio to go to school. How did he enroll the puppet in school? It's just the next day and you're going to go to school. You're going to go to school, Pinocchio. And so he's going to go to school. But on the way to school, he meets with Honest John and Gideon, who duck Pinocchio into becoming an actor. Because. And so yeah, Pinocchio was talked into doing it. Jiminy Cricket is late, which is why he doesn't get there, and he tries to talk to Pinocchio, but it doesn't work. And he ends up being an actor, and yeah, going to be an actor, working for Stromboli, who like brings in puppets, and yeah, even though there's some problems, he's falling down and stuff, he gets the hang of it, and he makes Stromboli a lot of money. But Pinocchio's like, I gotta go tell my father. But no, Stromboli's like, no, I lock you up. You make me money, But Jiminy Cricket shows up, and so I always thought, I don't know why, but I thought that his nose grew, and he gets the keys, and they unlock the door. Or was that from the Pinocchio Emperor of the Night? Maybe that's what it was. I watched that one a lot too when I was a kid. But Bird's Nest? I don't remember the Bird's Nest popping up in there and dying. I don't know. What's it called? The Nelson Mandela effect or whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the unlocking the keys thing was probably from the Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night, but I don't remember the Bird's Nest. That's right over my head. Didn't realize that, but the person that dies, the more he lies. I don't know. I just thought the nose got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, which other versions have done. But it's the Blue Fairy who rescues him and lets them go, only to find out that Geppetto was looking for them. No, they don't get that far, because they meet up with Honest John and Gideon again, who trick him into going to Pleasure Island by saying that Pinocchio is allergic and he needs to go to Pleasure Island to get rid of the allergies. And once again, Jiminy Cricket is unable to do anything at this point, and yeah, not a very good conscience, which is one of my complaints about the end. We'll get to the end. It's all wrapped up in a tight little bow, but I don't know. We'll get to it when I get to the end. So Pinocchio goes to Pleasure Island. I'm sorry, I'm itchy because I shaved my head. You know, it's itchy. And this is when it starts to realize it's basically. So I haven't seen Snow White for a long time, so I don't know if there's like this either. These feel like small little cartoons put together into a film. Pinocchio cartoons. The first one, Pinocchio is born and he's going to go to school. Pinocchio's born. He is made into a real boy, and they're all happy, and then that's around and stuff. And then the second one is Pinocchio's going to go to school today, but he gets tricked by Honest John and them and becomes an actor and plays in a puppet. And then the next one is he goes to Pleasure Island, where we get some nightmare fuel. He meets Lampwick, and they decide they're going to, you know, this island where you can basically be a brat. And this is something they wouldn't be able to do nowadays, although they sort of did it in the new one. But they're throwing bricks. Like, come on, let's go punch someone in the nose. Why? Because we can, that's why. Oh, okay. Okay. There's no conscience here, but okay. They're throwing bricks through pane glass windows. You know, they're smoking cigars, which they didn't do in the remake. Drinking beer, which was root beer in the remake, because soda rots your teeth. And then, yeah, and they're playing pool, which later when Jiminy Cricket comes in, he goes, smoking cigars? Playing pool? Okay, what's wrong with playing pool? Okay, what's wrong with playing pool? I played pool. We had a pool table in our house. Nothing wrong with playing pool. Jiminy, I would focus on throwing the bricks through the glass, stained glass window. I say pane glass, I hear stained glass window. Smoking cigars, yes. Drinking a beer. But Pinocchio and Jiminy, they have an argument. Jiminy walks off, and then Lampwick starts turning into a donkey. What do I look like? A jackass? Which they sort of do. He sort of does say it in the remake. But it is, Jack. Comparing some stuff, But it's very interesting. They never explain exactly how they turn into the donkeys. It's never specifically said. You could say there was something in the beer, maybe something rolled in the cigars. I don't know. Maybe some kind of magic turning, I don't know. I don't know. What you could know, because they would already be doing this. I was going to say, you could say that the Blue Fairy was captured by Stromboli and taken there so that they can use it. But no, that wouldn't make any sense. But I don't know. What kind of magic? I don't know. It's never really explained. It's implied that maybe it's the beer. He looks at the beer. He looks at the cigars. They even have him, suck in, take a big drag of the cigar. It's like, yeah. Family picture. Not for kids nowadays. Just saying they wouldn't do that. They didn't do that. But, yeah. And then Jimmy Cricket realizes the boys are turning into donkeys. Again, no reason why, but yeah, and then they start to grow ears, but Jiminy Cricket, he gets Pinocchio out of there before they're taken away, and then we get the fourth one. We gotta go rescue Geppetto. We find out via the Blue Fairy, who sends him a message via magic pigeon, I kid you not, that Geppetto went to look for Pinocchio and brought along Figaro and Cleo for some reason, so that they can, uh, try to find Pinocchio. But they've been eaten by Monstro the whale. They specifically say it's a whale here, but they turn it into a sea monster in a new one. Okay, so then Pinocchio's got to find Geppetto, so they go out to the sea, and we see Geppetto in the whale, and he's hungry, and then the whale goes to eat some fish, some tuna fish, which also brings in Pinocchio, and there's a whole thing with another fish trying to hit on Jiminy Cricket. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to eat it. I don't know. It felt very much like Sword in the Stone with the squirrel going after him, which I will be talking about later this month. So look for that. But yeah, and then Geppetto's gonna eat fish. Now, does anyone else think it's very wrong to eat fish in front of Cleo? I mean, come on. Come on. I understand you need to eat. And by the way, Figaro would have eaten Cleo already. Just saying. I'm just saying cats are in their nature. But Pinocchio is also brought aboard, so Pinocchio gets the idea to smoke him out, to set a fire, allowing the smoke to go up and cause him to sneeze, which sneezes them out, and they run away from the monstro. But Pinocchio, it dies. Yeah, I don't get it. Pinocchio is not even alive. Like earlier, there was a whole thing with Honest John where he makes a fake heartbeat, and I'm just like, well, Ginny, no, he doesn't have a heartbeat. He's made of wood. And I don't understand how Pinocchio dies here. The whole point is that he made himself by saving Geppetto, Figaro, Cleo, and Jiminy Crickets. He proved himself worthy to be a real boy. Problem. No, he didn't. He has proved in every single way before this that he is the most irresponsible kid in the world. One good deed does not do all. One good deed does not outdo all the bad. Kids are even told this, or you did one good thing, but those other bad things doesn't make up for that, right? And then, yeah, so Pinocchio becomes a real boy because he saved his father, creator, whatever. But that does one good thing does not a good boy make. I'm just saying. And then Jiminy Cricket gets a golden badge that says like #1 conscience or official conscience. No, because he sucked. He sucks as a conscience. He failed at every single facet of being a conscience. Period. He failed. Good day, sir. But he becomes a conscience because kids' movie. Everything we've seen in this movie, they both failed. Pinocchio should not be a real boy. And Jiminy Cricket should not be an official conscience. Just saying. But we need a happy ending. So that's happy ending. So, yeah. But Pinocchio is a timeless classic. For sure. And that's going to be pretty good for me. So, what are your thoughts on Pinocchio? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And go back to the live action movies next. And this is an interesting one. It's one that I saw a long time ago when I was a kid. And it's also interesting because I don't know if it's officially a Disney movie, but it was released by Touchstone Pictures, I believe. But I think it counts nowadays as a Disney movie. I don't care. I'm counting it. It'll be interesting. It is based on a comic strip. So know that. But we'll see. Until then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.